All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm live here. Oops, try and get this fixed up. If we start slowing down here, video-wise, I'll probably just cut the picture-in-picture. I'm streaming on multiple things right now, so we have the Gex up in the Gamma in the trading room right now, and I'm also on YouTube here, obviously, as you see. So I'm streaming across a few different devices right now, so it should be fine. But yeah. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to say a few things about. I'll try to talk about GameStop a little bit. I know that there's a lot of. I'm sure a lot of people are in here just wanting to know about GameStop and what's going on, and my thoughts on that. And then we'll go into the markets and get to the usual stuff. Normally I would just talk about the markets here, but how can you not talk about GameStop today? So I'm sure all you guys saw the stream here, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I had to watch some of it. It was really crazy. So what do you make of this, right? The stock's holding up. I mean, it's holding that daily 20 MA here. We got AMC backing off as well, down 15%. But this is what we call event volatility crush. And if you're not familiar with that, essentially, like, think of GameStop. And I was telling this to the trading room too. I was like, if you guys own this, that's fine, but trail your stop on the way up. If you're buying AMC, trail your stop. I did give out levels on AMC, and I know some people got it, said, hey, take some profits up here. But the reason for that is, I don't know what's he going to say in this stream. Like, unless he drops a bombshell and says, like, there's this big position that nobody knows about, or there's this big scheme going on. Basically, all he did was talk about Ryan Cohen. Sorry, I got to close the door on the cat there. Basically, all he did was talk about how great Ryan Cohen is of a CEO. And it's like, okay, so you got this 3-year plan thing going on. 3-year plan, it's going to be so great. Then why did you buy calls that expire in 3 weeks with $180 million, no less? It's not like he bought a couple million in it. He bought, and apparently he must have a really high net worth, because they're talking about, he's a billionaire now. Like, in order to put that much money in, period, you'd have to be a billionaire in order to, right? Like, you don't bet with money you can afford to lose, right? Whole thing's crazy. But this is what a vol crush is. So think of that stream as the FOMC for stocks, right? So what do we know about that? If we're running, if we're selling off, right, or even into, we had all that jobs data in April, remember? And I said, guys, there's going to be massive vol crush after this. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. We had all that vol crush there. It's event volatility. So there's calls, hedges going on here. Call premiums are through the roof. And unless something major happens, those premiums are going to drop precipitously. And the stock's going to get crushed. And you're seeing that happen right now. Now, it's actually holding up. I mean, like I said, it's holding the daily 20 MA, and you're holding this pivot low from Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday's session. So it's holding on right now, but I don't know what the hell's going to go on. So if he exercises right now at 20, he could cause a squeeze, but he's going to have to sell into that liquidity, because otherwise, once that unwind happens, it's just going to go back down again, right? So it's just it's a mechanism, right? It's not like, the company's going to have future growth forecasts, this, that, and the other. No, there's mechanisms that go on here. So I don't know. It's very interesting. It's wild here. The company came out, and I joked about this on Twitter last night, but I was serious at the same time. I was like, it'd be funny if they came out and issued shares while he's streaming. They didn't do that while he was streaming. They did it this morning. And we could look at the after hours, and you can see here we're up at 62.50, and then bam, just got clobbered in the morning. They announced that. So, and there's people, they're doing this and they're trying to screw everybody. Yeah, but it's their job to raise money for the company. The company needs help, and it's in trouble because, for a reason. So if they weren't doing that, the shareholders could just fire them for not doing the best they can to support their company. But wild stuff. It's holding up, and we have 2 weeks left till those calls expire. So we're going to get more fireworks. This isn't over with. But the GEX right now, in fact, you know what? If you give me 1 second here, I'll just put it up. I don't want to. Let's just do this here. I'm going to show you the GEX for GameStop for the 21st. It might not be complete because it's a very wide chain, but all right, so there you go. So you can see here, there's a floor at 20, and you see the call gamma there, 25 and then 30. Look at how massive that is. So again, through 30, again, to read this a certain way, if they push it down enough, we could go to 25, and then they got to get through 25, and then down to 20. So those are just some levels to watch going into this week, or actually in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, wild stuff here. Again, if you're going to play it, and I told this to the trading room, I was like, I like playing with AMC better because you're not, the call premiums aren't as bad. They're still pretty outrageous, but they're not as bad. And it's not getting halted as much. I mean, God forbid something happens where GameStop pumps to 120 and then it gets halted and it drops down to 80 before you can even bid on it. So a lot of wild stuff going on here. But we'll talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about the markets, and we'll get into the regular stuff here, and then I'll do some questions and whatnot. But right now we had non-farm payroll this morning. A little bit of a trap there. Spiked down. We got back above 53.40. You can see right there. I've got that drawn in on the ES, and we rallied up there, new highs, but we did pull back in, and there is GEX at 53.50. So we're just probably going to pin around that area until the end of the day, but overall, nothing really changed. And as long as we get a close, I would say on the weekly above. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but above the previous high, I think the market's fine. Certainly above 53.40 would be beneficial because that was the previous reversal pivot there. So a weekly close above that would certainly kind of slam the door. But we do have the Fed coming up on Wednesday. So we have FOMC, and I think we have CPI on, I want to say, Tuesday. Let me just double check that, which the actual date. Now, the Fed's already going to know what CPI is before it comes out. So, it is. So it's on Wednesday. So the Fed's already going to know what CPI is when they make their statement. So I think CPI, you'll get an algo reaction Wednesday, and then we'll just wait on the Fed. So it might be tradable for an algo reaction, but the market's going to wait on the Fed. Now, this morning was very, very interesting. So I talked about this yesterday. I said, it's going to take a big macro event to unpin the market right now. And we had a 5 sigma miss in jobs to the other side. I was wrong. I thought we would have I thought the bond market was saying, hey, we're gonna go down, it's going to be a miss to the downside. I still thought bonds would sell off just because they priced everything in. But yeah, I mean, and then you look at the numbers and they're all part-time jobs, of course. But either way, market seems to be fine here. And even if we were to close right around here, we're still just got an inside day. So the Fed will be interesting. But again, bottom line here, markets are acting well. And I mean, unless the Fed changes course, markets should be okay. So a lot of dips being bought, some shakeouts here. By the way, another thing too, this is interesting. AAII, I didn't talk about this yesterday, but bears upticked to 32 from 26. Bulls stayed the same. That's including Wednesday's pump too. So even with the pump Wednesday, market got more bearish. So again, I'm still kind of not in the camp here that I'm still in the camp we have room to run here. So Speaking of running, had a lot of runners in the trading room. Took a few more winners today. Took oil yesterday. Took NQ this morning. YM, that's the Dow. And we got some nice runners here, and that's been really nice lately here. So again, I got the flash sale still going. If you're interested in that, it's available. Details are in the comments there. But outside of that, I'll just quickly run through a few sectors here. I don't want to like take up too much time. It is a Friday, so. But yeah, let's look at the Qs. So Qs fractionally lower here. And what I noticed immediately early on is NVIDIA was red, but you had other sectors, XLE getting a bid, XLF, XLV. So it's like every time, you know, the bears get something, they get NVIDIA red, or they get these other, you know, these big tech names to be red. Some other sector picks up the slack. Apple green on the day. Right, so a lot of rotation going on. Volatility getting hit here in the short term too. And market, again, volume light, right? We're getting into the summer doldrums too. Look at this. Even with that little sell here, almost 3 o'clock, and we only got 24.7 million, and that's on a non-farm payroll day. So markets are holding up fine. Russell 2000 still weak. I still think there will be a switch here between chips, NVIDIA, and other sectors, small caps being one of them. That may be after the split, maybe after the Fed, maybe after June OPEX, but I do think that happens over the summer. But IWM on the weaker side today. They had a good rally in the morning, but it did come back in. Now it's bouncing off of intraday. Double bottom. The diamond here still almost to my target. We did take some profit on that, like I said earlier. About 500 points worth of profit, so nice. But 392.50 is still a level you can see on the diamond. Yeah, we basically hit the 50% to 618 right up here around 393. So that's still holding up. SMH still holding up, just an inside day. IGV, I think I like this sector a lot. There's a chart. I'll try and post it. I'll retweet it if you guys want to look at it later. I don't have it right in front of me, but basically fund managers right now are dumping software, and they're extra long chips. And I think those jaws will snap shut. So I think cloud is a very interesting sector here to look at over the summer. And by the way, that head and shoulder pattern is now failing on the weekly on IGV. Dow Transport's here holding up. Again, looks all right. Would like to see it firm up a little bit more and get back above 15.2, 15.3, but it's hanging in there. All right, I'll cover rates here. I'll skip through housing. Nothing's really changed in housing. We don't really care right now. 2-year, again, very good bid. I thought there would be a bounce in yields today. I didn't know we'd bounce this high. I thought there'd be a bounce. I told you guys 4.2 on the 10-year. We didn't quite get there. I thought it would look like this, though. I thought it would be like a spike down and then up. And we didn't quite get that. I just thought the number would miss. I thought that the bond market was telling us, hey, this is going to be a soft jobs number. And the bond market doesn't miss often. It's usually early to the party. So we'll see. Maybe those revisions, I mean, a lot of those jobs are part-time. The algos don't even pay attention to that stuff, which is just ridiculous. But yields got to bounce, and we're back testing that trend line. I think they can go a little higher. It's certainly possible. Dollar index looking good. Let me flip over to the dollar here. We'll just skip ahead to that. Again, don't trust the daily head and shoulders when the weekly is telling you you still got a bullish inside bar. Very adamant about that. Gold taking a dump. Talked about this yesterday. I said, don't be surprised if there's a lower high here. And pretty good outside move. Same thing with silver. So everybody was, oh, it's back above 30. Well, you gotta get a weekly close. I said that. And there you go. So I'd look at it lower. Watch that weekly 20 MA. We'll see what it does. Platinum, another dump there too. And palladium still weak. I still like it down here though. And then copper, again, soft bounce on the 50. I like 425. You guys know that. And then really quick, Bitcoin here. Bitcoin here coming back in. It looked like it was getting ready to break out. And pretty good slice there. It is bouncing now. Nothing's changed though. This has not changed at all. All right, so market's bouncing up here. Look at this. So light volume, always be cognizant of that. All right, so let's get into questions here. I don't want to go too long. I know it's a Friday here, but I'll just fire off a couple of quick ones. Just wanted to do this live, take advantage of obviously the crazy nonsense that's going on here. All right, so yeah, Tozy, hey, how's it going? Yeah, so I kind of touched on that. Yeah, Tozy mentioned CRISPR, Oxy. I wouldn't call Oxy a meme though, but Tilray, CLF, AAP. So well, some of those aren't memes. Tilray definitely is. I own some Tilray calls. They're just lottos. They're out to like January. They're just lottos though. I'm not against it. I think it's a good idea. I mentioned AMC as a proxy for GME. I think it's a lot safer because it's less likely to get halted. And God forbid, like we get a gamma squeeze on GME, right? What if we do this and then it gets halted and then 20 minutes later, the bid opens up right here? Now you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. Unless, you got in here, right? But you'd still lose a lot of profit. So I think some of the other names are a little bit, I definitely like the way you're thinking. FFIE is still up 12%. Came way off the highs though, but I do like the way you're thinking though, is in terms of looking at other proxy kind of ways to play it. So I like that idea. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. In the VIX too, also saying volatility is cheap in both directions, so owning long-term upside volatility. Yeah, I don't have a problem either. Like the VIX right now still is acting like a beach ball. Not so much the last 2 days, but it's getting there. And I think you'll see some premium uptick a little bit as we get closer to FOMC. But remember, event volatility premium. Okay, so what I said earlier, with volatility, there's going to be volatility baked into the cake there. Yeah, I'm doing it live. See, Brandon, you notice I didn't talk any crap. I really held myself back. I was like, I'm not gonna shit on anybody. Brandon's saying Kitty is gonna have to change his name to low effing value. I didn't say anything today. I was like, I'm not gonna talk about my opinion on the matter. I'm just gonna do the analysis here. Knew a top was coming when live streamer was telling his followers to write put contracts. Right, put contracts at 50, 60, 70, 120 in the afternoon. I mean, what was he going to say today that was going to pump the... I don't know, man. I don't know. Low effing value. I like that. I'm in saying a bit low to go today around... It could. I don't think we're getting through 50, though. Let me just pull it up again. So, yeah, it looks like they're closing those out anyway. There was GEX down there, but when it's put GEX though, which it was, the incentive is to be above that. If it's call GEX, then it's the other way around. I think we'll close we'll close at 53, 51. I think that's where we close. But it would have been there, and I would have bought the hell out of that if we got down there, for a scalp at least. But yeah, you're right. It was there. It looks like they closed up. They had the 75 too. They had the 52.75 twice today, or 53.75 today. They had it up there twice, then they closed those out. Twice. So as we were pumping up, it was like going to get there, and then it didn't. So we'll see if they bring them back though. Ocean, hopefully I'm saying that right. Ocean. Nat gas, lower high. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. I mean, it could go to 320. I don't think it's going to though. You look at the seasonal chart of it, it's right on time. Come on. Hold on, I was trying to find the one that I like. This is close enough. This works. Well, you can see. So bottom in Feb, March, up, and then kind of like a pull back into like May, June, and then it might have one more spike, but I don't think, I wouldn't bet on too much more. I wouldn't bet on too much more here. It probably cools off for the summer. So yeah, and again, we can see we're just inching down a little bit here. Again, vol upticking. VIX needed a dead cat bounce there too. But yeah, I think nat gas probably done for the summer. Then it'll get its run in the fall, like it usually does. Yeah, no problem, Tozy. Raj asking about XRT, retail ETF. And, you know, it's still acting well. You kind of have like a cup and handle type look there. I don't look at XRT all that often, but yeah, you can see you got like a little zone right here, right? So it's consolidating to get through that. As long as you maintain higher lows, it should break through that, and then it can get up to 85. But that's why it's stalling. That's why it's been stalling out here for the last couple of months. But yeah, it's doing what it should. So as long as you maintain these higher lows here and keep hammering on 79, 80 bucks, I think you can break through. Could be a summer play. Yeah, Brandon, exactly. It's that, you know, I said that earlier. It's like you're going to find out what theta burn is and what implied vol crush is, and that right there is implied vol crush. So, yeah, no problem, buddy. No problem. So, all right. So I just wanted to do a quick little stream here. I'm glad, you know, we got a few people show up. In Leo, of doing a daily video, figured it would be a good day to do that. Again, market seems to be all right here. We make, I'm guessing around 53.50 for the end of the day, but as long as that holds up, I think, you know, market's fine here. I would really, the only thing I would be worried about, and I mentioned this yesterday, is if we close below Wednesday's low. But we're nowhere near that, and it looks like we're going to have a new all-time closing high by the end of the week. So I think things are doing just fine. So, but outside of that, we'll see what we get next week again. First 3 days maybe a little bit quiet because we have the Fed and CPI on Wednesday. But again, market's holding up right now, and when the volume's light, just, you know, give them the upside bias here until proven otherwise. So. Oh, sorry, Justin. Yeah, they won't let me change that. So, they're really raking it in on the live streams now. Yeah, Bitcoin's still fine. I did cover that. I'll answer for you. Yeah, we had a pretty good slice here, but it's fine. It's fine. Does it become a problem if we're below 66? But we're fine right now. Little outside move on ETH, oh, big deal. You know, Solana's still pretty strong on the weekly. Those are the only three I like, though. The alts are not, I don't like as much, but Solana weekly is still fine, ETH weekly is still fine, and Bitcoin weekly is just fine. So I'm thinking, I still think we get up to 74.5 to 75. I think on the monthly, I was talking about this in the trading room earlier. However, I think on the monthly, it might have to do a little bit more backing and filling. It probably is leverage flush, yeah. I think if I'd like this 20 MA to catch up. Like if we could do that, then it's going to have powder keg potential. So it might, I'm thinking macro, it might take a little time, but micro short term, I still giving it the upside bias there. And yeah, it probably was a leverage flush. Well, and the other thing, Brandon, too, is like I was saying earlier, if he assigns at 20, he could cause a squeeze a little bit, but he's going to have to sell into that market maker liquidity. Otherwise, he's going to be trapped forever. So we'll see. It's holding up. You know, it's holding low. We got like 2 more weeks till expiry, so I'm sure it'll be fun. But yeah, wild stuff here. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Again, just want to do a quick stream here, and I'm sure there's a lot of people wanted to know what's going on there. But yeah, markets are all right. We're acting well still, and I'm still giving them the upside bias here. Definitely at least through the Fed. We can have pullbacks in here, but I'm still expecting that summer rally to continue. So, all right. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. You guys take care. Thank you guys all. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys all on Monday.